Hey guys, Anime Kajin here. In today's video, we're going to talk about the top 10 magic anime with an overpowered MC. Magic and an overpowered MC. Words that go so well together that most of us would always like to hear which anime has these traits. So let's get on to the video, but before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel for more videos about anime. Even with just 3.69% of you guys subscribing to our channel would be a big help. So without further ado, let's begin.
早いにしても相手が生身の人間ってのはやりにくいな
って言ってる場合ここで何とかしなくちゃ依頼は完了しないでしょだな
Taichi Nishimura and his childhood friend, Rin Azuma, are just casually making their way to their school when light suddenly envelops them and transports them to another world where they are immediately met by a beast, but thankfully saved by adventurers. They are pointed towards the guild to determine their magical aptitude and be registered adventurers, but their results are extremely off the charts and unprecedented that made them, well, cheat magicians. Taichi, for one, can directly tap into the elemental magical forces compared to usual magicians. Rin, on the other hand, is the first known quad magician with an affinity to 4 major elements, and uses the science of the original world to enhance and create more unique spells for her to use. The duo and the way they are overpowered itself, that they are perpetually invincible and unbeatable should they have a full grasp of their power, is what makes them so fit to be called cheat magicians.
でかい何これ
Sleeping after hours of debugging might be the best for Ichiro Suzuki, who is exhausted from their company's death march, an extreme workaholic devotion mode, so to say, that it drains the life out of you. And that death march led him to another world, seemingly from the games he was debugging. This time, what met him was a vast army of lizard men, approaching him that forced him to use a powerful area of effect spell that he thought he debugged from a previous game in the real world. That spell did the trick and wiped out the entire army, leveling him up to 310, now nicknamed Saro from the time he beta tested games. He walks in the world as what might be the most powerful being alive, all thanks to one death march. A normal high school boy, Kisaragi Rige's peaceful life is turned into an adventure by the return of his second cousin, Eriko. They seize a relic box from a black broker, and inside the box, what awaited them is a red dragon girl, of whom they named Rose from the pattern on her hand. In order to protect Rose from the Black Organization, Ryuji decides to fight using his power as a relic handler. His main weapon is called the Slash Breath, an S-class Lost Precious given to him by Eriko. He can further amplify his weapon's power by engaging with Rose, where his sword becomes wrapped in flames and becomes overwhelmingly strong and is extremely a convenient power-up when fighting difficult opponents. Akatsuki Osawa, known as the Rogue Hero, discards his peaceful life in the fantasy world Alizard to face new challenges upon returning to Earth, where there are likewise others similar to him, who can travel to other fantasy worlds. He comes back with Miyu, the daughter of the Demon King he defeated, and is now forced to hide her true identity by having her pose as his little sister. The two soon join Babel, a special school designed for those who have acquired special abilities and magical powers through their journey to a fantasy world. Babel was seemingly founded to train young interdimensional travelers, but its true purpose remains unclear to the pseudo sibling. That said, it might not be much of a problem to him, knowing how he can control the ki of himself and others as well as the area around him. Through controlling his ki, he is able to heighten his senses and physical abilities, which makes him superhuman and can insert ki into weapons, making them much sharper and durable.
バカがこれほどの魔法を数秒で
Akane Private Academy is where students who possess memories of their previous lives are being trained to use ancestral arts so that they can serve as defenders against monstrous creatures called metaphysicals who randomly attack. These students are known as saviors and are broken up into two categories: the Kurogane, who are able to use their prana to summon offensive weapons, and the Kuroma, who are able to use magic. Then there's our protagonist, Moroha Haimura, who has two past lives, the first being a named Flaga, the second being Shu Sora. Due to having memories of both lives, he is known as an ancient dragon, and is a member of both classifications. That likewise allowed him to use powers from both lives. His sword is Saratiga, which is a straight katana, while his dark art is called the Black Gehenna, that he infuses into a sword to maximize its destructive capability. We normally wake up as infants under the care of our parents or relatives, if not guardians. The point is, we wake up normally to fellow humans. Will, on the other hand, awakens to three faces that no normal human would expect: one of a skeleton, the other of a ghost, and the last of a mummy. These three raised him as their own in the ruins of a city long fallen. Blood the skeleton teaches Will how to fight, Gus the ghost teaches him magic, and Mary the mummy teaches him religion and responsibility, while all of them taught him love. Will has access to two general abilities, being that of Words of Creation, and the other being Benediction. The former, as by its name, allows him to create various things such as flames for one, while also allows him to cast buffs and use several debuffs and even some that can be classified more as utility. The latter meanwhile is related mostly on curing and healing and an extent of divine magic. Arata Kasuga is living an ordinary life with his cousin, Hijiri, when a mysterious happening called the breakdown phenomenon makes her vanish before his very eyes. Determined to eradicate the breakdown phenomenon and get Hijiri back, Arata enrolls at Royal Biblia Academy. There, he meets 7 girls, of whom are masters of their own magical art. That said, Arata is still a league of his own. He has the ability in controlling all magic in the surrounding area and forcibly dispelling the magic weaker than his, causing likewise their Magus mode to be dispelled. He is likewise able to access and cast spells of others with his own variation from the 7. All of those are just the tip of the iceberg for now, knowing that he still has a lot of potential, being a Demon Lord candidate at that.
いきなり随分なご挨拶だな。まあ同志、やっと正体を現しましたね。死な
まさかまた俺のフォロー。
As war continues to break out between humans and demons, wreaking havoc and chaos to society and its people, the Demon King, Anos Voldigod, sacrifices his own life to end this conflict, hoping to end it and be reborn to a peaceful society 2,000 years later. Once he is born to a demon society that has greatly regressed in power, and that the demon society now remembers him, the Demon King, very differently than how it had happened 2 millennia earlier. In his journey to reclaim the title known as the Demon King, we see the extraordinary magic abilities he had. This is showcased in his battle against Zephys, where he made Zephys' organs explode just by amplifying the sound of his heartbeat, with no effort and without moving from a single spot during the battle. Throughout the anime, his immense physical power is also seen when his magic powers are rendered useless by anti-magic, meaning that no matter the approach that his enemies have, he can easily overwhelm them in whatever way he wants. Well, even in beating a high-class spell with just a weak one, or even blowing off a strong flame with a sigh.
まったく世話の焼けるやつらだ。
後にこの決闘を見た者は語る。そう、それは見事なジャーマンスープレックスであったと。
14-year-old Iruma Suzuki has been unfortunate all his life. having to work to earn money for his irresponsible parents despite being underage. One day, he finds out that his parents sold him to the demon Sullivan. However, Iruma's worries about what will become of him are soon relieved, for Sullivan merely wants a grandchild, pampering him and making him attend the demon school Babils. Well, at the very least, he gained a sense of danger due to his childhood life, so he'll automatically avoid it no matter what. Not to mention that his human blood has the ability to heal external wounds almost instantaneously, whether it may be a large or small injury. Overall, what makes a human Iruma overpowered, and even more than the demons in the school, is how his survival instincts reign superior and how it leads him to various things that would help him have plot armor, be it his connections with others or items he acquires along the way.
敗者は勝者に従属するのが悪魔の習わし。よってこの身すべて捧げ、入間様の学園統治に尽力いたします。
我が祖国の敵を打ち滅ぼす力を与えたまえ。
Usually, intelligence might mean another drawback like lack of physical ability, lack of some sort of affinity, or any other debuff in an attempt to nerf the character. Tanya the Gurashov has seemingly none of those, except for her small size and unhinged nature that doesn't really affect the results in the battlefield. As if her magical prowess was not enough, she also has the wits that will enable her to be a one-unit army whenever she wants to. Only natural for someone who dared challenge being X, or the so-called god before getting transported into a world of magical warfare. Her ruthlessness and smarts earn her the uncanny nickname, Demon of the Rhine, and she stops at nothing, just to show defiance to being X as the greatest obstacle of a simple life that she longed for, regardless if her actions make it so that her country will use her as the pillar of a mighty empire. Aside from her wits and strategy, what makes her more fearsome is her overwhelming firepower, and magic capacity being translated and applied in her combat experience. These are definitely some overpowered characters that we all never get tired of. Do you guys think there are other anime that needs to be on the list? Feel free to share your comments and suggestions down below. If you want to see more anime content, make sure to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Stay tuned and I will see you guys soon.